Hi, my name is Layla Kelly. In this video, going to be talking about like servant leadership and how leadership involves relationship building skills, and especially like my own personal like leadership style, and how I would like build relationships. So as far as the style of leadership that is most closely like mine, definitely a mixture of servant leadership and also emotional leadership. Um, so let's see, because I'm definitely into servant leadership as I am concentrated on my followers. Like, especially as a teacher, like my followers that I'm focused on are my students. Um, and I do at the same time consider the feelings and emotions of my students, but also have the right way to approach them. I'm trying to make sure I have like a good balance with that, and also know when I need to make a difficult decision. And these kind of things can transfer to student affairs. It's not just in teaching, but definitely in student affairs departments, as both types of like work do involve serving students. Um, I think, yeah, there's nothing wrong with having emotional leadership along with servant leadership as long as I know when to make difficult decisions. Because sometimes I have to put feelings aside and do something that's the right choice, but may not make everybody happy. Um, I know, like, I'm sometimes one who likes to soften the blow of like saying like of making a difficult decision to someone. So it does keep the relationship like still cordial no matter what. As for my skills that I have, I guess building relationships, my certain skills, I'd say my best ones are being a good listener, collaborating, being empathetic and open minded, and being respectful and approachable. Um, so how I approach relationship building and how to compare this to a servant leader, basically the same as my relationship building skills that I just mentioned. Being a good listener, meaning like being able to hear what those I'm serving like have to say, take their suggestions, which for sure is a humbling time. Collaborating, so meeting like with others, in the department, like coworkers, like to maybe get ideas on how to grow better as an educator. As I had also been recently doing, with another teacher that teaches the same subject but in another school from me, still same district, just to get ideas and things I can do in my classroom and to get better ideas. So there's the collaboration in there, that willing to hear out suggestions, um, being empathetic and open minded. Definitely an important skill to have when being a servant leader. You never know sometimes what those you're serving are going through, what's going on behind the scenes. So try to be as supportive as best I can. Just open to hear them out. Also have a degree of like, needing to like accomplish something, but just having awareness of, what is going on so I can show empathy as I'm needed and make the right decisions to accommodate those I'm serving. And just simply being respectful and approachable, meaning that, I want those like serving like to feel comfortable, talking to me about anything, able to be approached, and if I'm not available at a certain time, like indicating when I'll be available and making sure it's like as soon as I possibly can. Um, my own personal experiences with my relationship buildings. My strengths are like as I mentioned, having empathy and understanding, being willing to listen and be open to suggestions, and valuing my work life balance. So I did like get into like how being empathetic and understanding is important, and being open to listen to suggestions. But also, it is important that I value my work life balance, that I make sure I'm engaging in self care. I can't be the best at what I'm doing if I don't take care of myself or have a work life balance, time that I decompress from what I'm doing. Yeah, otherwise, I can easily get burnt out, and that would not be a good thing. Um, challenges, challenges, definitely saying no and making difficult decisions. That's definitely something I struggle with. It's not easy for me to make difficult decisions, and I tend to be the type that instead of like flat out saying no or anything, that I try to give an explanation that softens the blow of it. I want you know those that I'm working with to know it's not personal if I have to make a difficult decision that they may not like, that it is what it is, that I may not necessarily like it that I have to do it either, but that's how it has to go. And, it just is good for those I'm serving. It teaches them about real life, that not everything's going to go as planned. You're not going to be able to please everybody, and you just have to learn to be okay with that. Other challenges, just making sure I don't get overwhelmed. And that's like where the work-life balance comes in. Just I need to just make sure I'm getting like discipline and knowing when I need to just take a step back, allow myself to relax or decompress, engage in self-care so I can be the best that I can be. And then a challenge, I've been learning to be humble. I'm definitely better at it now. Being willing to take suggestions, and like even recently at a time that a student of mine like gave some suggestions, was respectful about it. And I definitely will be like checking into like what he had to say, because I am trying to grow as an educator, and sometimes even my students can have valuable things to say. um, Importance of followership. Well, the importance of followership is being able to be humble and being less prideful. That was something I definitely struggled with before. Um, and, just being able to follow is what helps allow to grow, you know, and being able to like take suggestions so that you can grow will make you in the end a better leader. Um, as for how I would develop followership based on building personal professional relationships with my leadership style, again, just continue to like with my strengths of being empathetic, putting someone other than me first. Um, of course, being a Christian, I already do that, putting the Most High ahead of me as it is, as I serve Him first. But, also like having the mindset of being like a servant, not just like following the Most High, but then like, making sure I'm following, those who I'm serving, like my students first, and making sure I'm like attending to their needs the best way I can, but without like compromising my own health. Um, and being mindful of feelings of others, but also knowing when to put the feelings aside and make the best decision that I can. And in the end, having like done all these things, I have a fairly good relationship with my own students. I've heard a lot of like positive things about them, and I do look forward to seeing like how I can continue growing and make myself better as a leader in the future. Anyway, thank you so much and take care.